Hello and welcome. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Vanquisher. So the Vanquisher is a hunter class ship, which means that it is a mid-game combat ship equipped with a brig or a holding cell, suppressive weaponry, and is limited to starship design rank 2 or less. As usual with my um, ships in the mid-game range, if I am not Class A, I am Class C because the Class B reactors that are limited to Starship Design Rank 2 or less are kind of poor. But I am making use of Class B and Class A engines with this particular build, um, just that way I can maintain that higher mobility. Now, I did try and go ahead and make this more UC Vanguard style colors. I'm not sure exactly how close I managed to get to that, but I tried. So let's go ahead, take a brief look, and I will go ahead and show you how it's built, and then we can take it out for a test drive. Alright, so this particular build started out as kind of a Hope Tech design with an Ares bridge, and then I just kept making some modifications until I came up with a build that I kind of liked. So you see that we enter immediately right here with the landing bay access in the armory, as is my preference. This one is the Hope Tech Armory, so this is where our holding cell is. Over here we have a ladder going down, and at the bottom of this ladder is our docking bridge access. And this is in our control room. This hab could very easily be any other hab that you wanted because you do not need this control room for space when you have the Ares bridge. Then over here, we have this door, which is leading into a 2x1 all-in-one. And then this door, which is leading into a 2x1 captain's quarters. Finally, if we come back forward, right here is our Ares bridge. And that is the entire ship. So let's go ahead and see how it's built. All right, and you can see these stats without skills down here. And let me go ahead and get my colors in my palette. You can see that I went with a blue, gold, and then blue to get this color. And that applies to the entire ship. I did not do any bits with different colorations. All right, now let's go ahead, select all, and delete. Now with this particular ship, I am making use of the place doors yourself, as well as better ship part flips and snaps. The place doors yourself is going to come up, however, you would get the exact same layout without place doors yourself because there's only one possible connection at each point. Additionally, better ship part flips and snaps is basically just getting me an undermount for my one of my weapons, but you could very easily build this ship without any mods needed. So let's go ahead and see how it's built. So we are going to go ahead and start with that Hope for landing bay. Right here, I'm now going to go ahead and find that Hope Tech 2x1 all-in-one. And then I'm going to go ahead and place a few more. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab all of these and pull them off. And as mentioned, since I'm using place doors yourself, I now need to place my doors. Everything can just be placed on this tab right here, and then we can just slide everything back in place. Again, if you are not using place doors yourself, you don't need to worry about doing this. And you also don't need to worry about placing doors for the landing bay, docker, or bridge. All right. So that is the HAB layout. Then we're going to come on over here and we are going to grab the Docker. And this is going to be that 100 DPM Slim Docker placed right there. And then right here, we're going to go ahead and grab that Ares bridge. This is the DS30.2. Anything more requires higher ranks of Starship design. Or you could use the 30.1 if you wanted to save about 5,000 credits. The only difference is 20 cargo. All right, now that we've got all of this, the next thing that we need to do is let's come on over here to our fuel tanks. And I'm making use, looks like I had used the M50s before I downgraded, but we're going to use the M40 HE3 tanks because this does not require Starship design. And there we go. Gonna place a pair of them right there. And now we're gonna come on over to our landing gear. And you can see we have the Hope 6 landing gear here. All right, so that is all the landing gear for the ship. And next up, let me come on over here to my cargo. And you can see that I used a pair of the Hauler 30T cargo holds. Placed here and here. And then let me come on over here to my engines. Now, with my engines, I'm using a pair of the Ares DT50s, and I am also using the Hercules DT130s. Now, an important thing to note here is that the DT130s, as base, only have this side connection piece right here. Better ship part flips and snaps gives the front connection pieces, and that allows me to just connect it on right here like this. And let me just move this forward. Now, if I did not have the better ship part flips and snaps, what I would need to do is once I put my reactor in here, I would need to go ahead and do something that is going to give me a connection piece on the side here. That could be, hull, or it could be probably the least visible way of doing it would be to go ahead and grab a Nova bracer, and just for the sake of argument, we would stick it here and then the engines would be slightly raised. The other option would be to go ahead and swap out the DT130s for a different engine. Again, this ship could go up as high as Class C engines, so you're not really limited there, but you can't get this exact layout without better ship part flips and snaps. That being said, let me come here now. And you can see, basically I have the DT130s on the outside, and then the Ares DT50s on the inside, and that is how I did the engine layout to get this appearance. I could have also done one more DT130 here instead of these two. However, that would actually go ahead and reduce my maneuvering thrust, which might reduce my mobility. Alrighty, next, let's come on over here to my reactors, scroll all the way on down, and grab that Fuser DC402. Again, this is just the best best reactor that you can get with the Starship design limitation. Then I'm going to come on over here to the grav drives, and I was able to get away with an R4000, which is Starship design rank 2, or I could have gone with the RD1000 instead. either of them give me that 27 grab jump thrust that I need. All right, the next thing that I'm going to do now is off the front of this, I'm going to come on over here to my structural pieces. And here I'm using a Deimos cowling that is flipped upside down. Again, this is better ship part flips and snaps that lets me do this. If I didn't do this, I would have to use a Deimos belly instead. All right, next up, let me come on down here, just check. Plate. And I need a pair of these Stroud Cap A's. These are going to be sitting right here. And then I need my HopeTech radiator right here. Then a HopeTech pipes, HopeTech pipes 4, and HopeTech pipes aft. All right. From here, I now need to go ahead and get my shield. And as usual, this is the Odin 3040C, because again, this is the best Class C shield that we can get with the Starship design limitations. And here, I just kind of hid that underneath the Stroud cap. Then, I'm going to come down on the chin here, and I'm going to go ahead and place an equipment plate right here. And it's time to add my weapons. So for my weapons, I'm using the Class A Disruptor 3310 proton beams. This is actually one of the best weapons that you can use that is not an auto weapon, because you can still manage to fit 4 of these, and they have a good long range. There was a Reddit post a while back that had a link that had somebody went and posted the actual damage stats for every single weapon in the base game, and that's how I've been going through and judging what weapons to place on my ships. Alright, then let me come on over here, and I need to find the Class B Firebolt 4000 suppressors. Okay, and you'll notice that the price total is slightly off. This is simply because I mixed up the M50 and the M40s, and this has been replaced with that. Now, all I need to do is assign my weapons and paint my ship. There we go. All right, now let's take it out for a spin and see how it performs. All right, and you can see from the stats on the left, I cannot assign all the power to the EM weapons. I am 4 short, so I could theoretically go ahead and say drop one of the EM weapons in order to make room. Alternatively, if I'd used the 3 Class B engines instead of the 2 Class A's in the middle, that would have given me one more power to apply to the EM weaponry. Alright, now let's go ahead and drop engine power and head on out to Serpentis. Come on. There we go. See if anybody shows up. And it looks like the answer to that is going to be no. Ah, I see. There's hostile activity somewhere else in orbit. Okay, it looks like I have 4 ships, so I need to get some distance. Alright, and basically I'm just trying to let my shields recover some here. Alrighty. They were able to keep up a little bit better than I was hoping for. Means that we took a little bit more hull damage than I've been planning on. Alright. That's 3 down. There should be 1 more over here. Oh, nope, I got them all. Alrighty. Definitely need to pick up ship parts, but not that badly. Alright, let's see what else we can find out here. So, despite the low mobility with this ship, one of the nicer parts about it is that we do still have plenty of cargo space. So, when I press the right buttons, you can see as I come on over here that we've got 3480 cargo while still maintaining that 70 mobility, which gives us plenty of space to go ahead and pick up loot from either ships or from anything else. Alright. Let's see if we can afford to stay closer. Okay, and then a eulogy. And I can lock onto them if I wanted to, or I can go ahead and just repeatedly hit them with my EM weapons, um, and just wait until I take out the engines. And now if I want to, I can dock, but I really don't like boarding eulogies, so I'm just going to blow up anyways. Right, a Dirge 3. And it boosted after me, so I can't get my distance. And they got me. But on a reload, now that I know what's coming for me, I can just start by boosting away. And now the Dirge 3 is far enough away. So I've got a Dirge and a Dirge 3. And he is getting a little too close. And then, as mentioned, I can then easily dock after taking out their engines. That. And there we go. And now, if I so desired, I could take over the ship. And if you haven't seen this before, you can just undock. Your ship does not go away yet. And then you can target it. Come on in here. Make this your home ship. Then immediately dock. And get back on your ship to fly away with your starting vessel. All right. So, if you watched all the way to the end, thank you very much. And I will see you in the next one.